Welcome to the Delaware AIM Center DRM training video for ordering AIM for your students. My name is Betsy Warren and I am a co-coordinator at the center. My co-coordinator and I manage a team of AIM creators who create, convert, and proof textbooks, novels, and consumable books into accessible instructional materials for Delaware students grade K through 12. In this video, I will take you through the public parts of our website and then log into the DRM portal. The portal is where I will demonstrate how to place an order, view the status of an order, and where to download an electronic version of an order for our AIM Center students. Our website is www.aimdelaware.org. On the home page, you will see a brief description of AIM, addresses to send textbooks to us for converting to AIM, and other helpful links. In the right panel on the home page is our physical address. We are located on East Main Street in Newark. After you place orders in our system, please send books to the Delaware AIM Center at 314 East Main Street in Newark. Also listed on the right margin is the address for the Division for the Visually Impaired, or DVI. They create all the materials for students who are visually impaired and are already DVI students. Further down the right sidebar on the home page are some helpful quick links. The first one is Find a DRM. This will tell you which DRMs are assigned to districts and/or specific schools and who have also read the DRM tutorial and passed the quiz. For example, Brandywine School District shows several DRMs that are district-wide. They also have DRMs that are only assigned to specific schools. This is also where parents may be able to find a DRM that is assigned to their child's school and be able to contact them. The next link is the downloadable forms. Here you can download a Group A or Group B verification form that is used by the IEP team. And also, there is a link to the DOE Accessibility Guidelines, and this will bring you right to the DOE website. For ordering information, there is a link to the ordering format questionnaires. Here you will see the different questions that will be asked of you when you place your order. For example, for Braille, they'll ask you what type of Braille that you need. How do you want it bound? Do you want tactile graphics, etc.? There are also questions for large print ordering questionnaire, if there's a paper color required, the size of the paper, and the font. So you can review this if you want to make sure you know what information you need prior to placing the order. The next form you can download is the DRM designation form. This is to be completed by the special ed director when assigning staff to be a digital rights manager for a district or school. The beginning of the form has a brief description of the role of the DRM and what is best that you should have access to as far as computer, etc. The form also has the information here for the special ed director to complete and the spot to put multiple DRMs and their contact information. Once the form is completed, it should be emailed to Pam Bauman at DOE. Her contact information is here on the bottom of page 4 of the form. Once Pam approves the DRM, she will send it to our center and the name will be put into our system. An automated email is sent to the potential DRM with a link to the tutorial and quiz. We are notified automatically once the DRM passes the quiz, and then we will activate their account and they will be able to start placing orders. The other two forms are for copyright regulations. The first one, the assurance delivery receipt, needs to be signed by the student's teacher. They are stating by signing this form that the AIM will not be used by any other student except for the requesting student. The DRM will maintain this form in the student's file. The AIM Center does not need it back. And the other form is the AIM Return Documentation form. This does need to be returned to the AIM Center at the end of the school year or when the student is done using the AIM, and the DRM and/or teacher have either returned the hard copy to us if it was a large print book, or if the order was an electronic version, the DRM confirms that it has been deleted from all devices it was loaded on to the best of their knowledge. Both these forms are required to make sure we adhere to the copyright protection for the publishers. That covers the home page. The other tabs are About Us, which just tells a little bit about the AIM Center. Articles, if there are any helpful articles here that might benefit you, and our Contact Us page. Here you can send us an email with any questions or comments that you may have. This brings us to the DRM portal page, which is where you'll be most of the time. Once you pass the quiz, your account will be activated by us and you will be able to log into the portal and place orders. The portal has 6 tabs within it. There is the DRM portal homepage, TVI approvals, My Orders, My AIM downloads, Start New Order, and Log Out. On this page, you will be able to print out the book, delivery addresses for the AIM Center and for DVI to put on the packages for mailing the hard copies. The TVI Approvals tab is for the teachers for the visually impaired. When a DRM submits an order for a DVI student, they need to be sure to enter the TVI's name on the order form. The TVI is notified via email that there has been an order entered for one of their students and they need to verify the information and the format is all correct in the order. The My Orders tab will list all the outstanding orders you have entered for the school year. We'll swing back to this tab in a few minutes. The My AIM Downloads tab will be where you will be able to download any electronic versions of your orders. They may be either accessible PDFs or DAISY format materials, and we'll swing back to this tab in a few moments also. The Start New Order tab is where you will enter all the student and book information. The first page is about the student. When you first start out, you'll choose the Add a New Student from the drop-down menu. Once you've added a student here, they will show up there and you will not have to enter all the information for the student each time. It will prompt you to check the grade just in case they have moved up to the next grade for the next school year. But other than that, the student ID and student name and birth date will all be there for you. I will put in a test student here. And just pick a birth date. You'll have to enter the disability of the student. For here, I'll just put learning disability for our purposes today. There is a spot to describe it in more detail if you need to. Then it will ask if the student is served by DVI. So you just need to click yes or no. For this purpose, I'll say no. Certification, Group A or B. This is important to make sure that you have it entered correctly. Depending on whether they are Group A or Group B does determine whether we at the AIM Center are able to source the textbook or materials from different third parties. If they are Group A, we can look to see if the NIMAC has the book. If they are Group B, we are not able to pull any information from the NIMAC. Then you need to choose their grade and then the student's district. You also need to fill in their school and then the school term. For these purposes, I'll use the current school year. And affiliation is the DRM school district, which usually is the same school district, but we need that information as well. The next information to complete is the delivery address of the school where we should send any materials, whether it be a large print AIM or if it's when we return the original hard copies that you sent us to use. We will return them back to the address that you have here. And if you could complete a mail stop number, we'd like to use that for mailing as well. Once you have completed all the required fields, click Continue. This next page is where you'll enter the format information, book name, and any special instructions we may need to know about the order. The first question is, how will the student be using the material? Audio and text, just audio, or just text? The next question is the format needed. Do you want the AIM to be an accessible PDF, large print, Braille for DVI students, audio, or DAISY, digital DAISY format, digital talking book? I'll do accessible PDF for this purpose, and once you click that, it opens up other questions that pertain to that format. This question is for the intended delivery device. That can be Chromebook, PC, a laptop, or an iPad, and I'll put iPad for this sample. Do you need graphics? Do you want pictures to be included? And do you need a description of pictures? This would be the alt text that we would complete to describe each picture. Then the material. Do you want it in color if the original is in color, or does it just need to be in black and white? The next question is the date needed. Please keep in mind, if we need to create the book from scratch, it could take several months to complete depending on the subject matter and grade level. For example, high school science and math books take quite a while if we aren't able to source them from a third party, such as Bookshare or NIMAS. So you can use the calendar drop down. I'm going to say August 15th. And any special instructions, for example, if I need chapters 4 and 5 before anything else because we're jumping around in the book, I can put that first, please. Or if you any other special instructions, you can type in there. Then you enter the title, And if it's in a series, such as Junie B. Jones series, you can enter that information there. Next, you'll need to enter the ISBN number, which we do want as long as there is one. It helps us determine the versions that we're getting are the correct versions if we go to a third party for it. And then also you'll have to enter the author and the publisher. The date published also helps us to determine that we are looking for the right version in any third-party searches that we do. We ask for the teacher information because if we have questions about the material once we are working on it, we'll email both the teacher and the DRM with our questions. So we'll put that in. And you can see it populated because I've used this before as a sample, so it already populated the information. This last question is very important. As I referenced earlier, the TVI approvals page, this is where the email will be sent to the TVI if you are entering this order for a DVI student. So I'll just show you how it looks. If I said yes, it's going to ask me to click on the TVI that is responsible for this order. So I can just click on the TVI, and once I hit submit, the TVI will be notified that an order has been placed for one of their students. For this purpose, I'm going to say no, and then I hit submit. This will bring you back to the Start New Order page, and you can see here that you will be able to order another item for this student. And if you click on this, it skips the student information because it's the same student and brings you right to the book information. Whereas if you start a new order for another student, it will bring you to the place where you have to enter student information. I'm going to show you briefly, if you choose a different format, there are different questions that will answer, that you'll have to answer. So here I clicked reading only for large print, number of copies that you need, do you need the graphics, how do you want it, colored or black and white, stapled, how do you want it bound, and other pertinent questions for a large print order. If you order audio, it will ask you human, voice preferred or required, and what your intended delivery device is. And Digital Daisy will ask you a few more questions about graphics. So those are the different options that you'll need to know the answers to when you're placing the order. The other thing is to not forget to send us the hard copy of the material to our center or to DVI. We are unable to start the order without having the hard copy. There is an option to print the mailing label here as well as on the DRM portal homepage. So you can print the address here. We do try to source the material from other places that may have it completed already. This saves us time and gets the material to the student as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, there are some sources that we need to proof very carefully to make sure all the information is correct and in accessible format. So this is why we do need to have the hard copies, and it does take extra time. If we are unable to source the book from a third party, we will have to create the AIM from scratch. This means that we will have to cut the binding off the book in order to scan the pages and convert it to the needed format. We will return the cut book to you, but it will be in a 3-ring binder. Let's now circle back to the My Orders tab. And here you can see where I have placed that last order, Betsy's test book, and when it is needed and the ISBN and the format that it's in. If you see the red waiting for books, that means we haven't received the hard copies yet. Please send them as soon as possible. You can also see the status of the order here, which is detailed here at the top of the page. Next, we'll go to My AIM Downloads. And this is where you will be able to download any electronic version of the AIM that you requested. So if you requested a DAISY file or an accessible PDF, it will be in a zip file here. And the zip file will have the AIM as well as the 2 forms, the teacher assurance form and the AIM return documentation form. And you can just click on the book that's listed here and you can download it to the student's device. When placing orders, we like to have them entered into our system as soon as possible, even in April and May prior to the fall start date if you know that what your student may need in the fall. The sooner we receive the order and copy of the book, the sooner we can get them completed. So that is the process for DRM ordering materials. If you have any questions, please email us at info@aimdelaware or call us at 302-595-9355. Thank you.